Have you ever thought about how safe your data really is? A question that might seem trivial until the moment it's not. In this age of digital revolution, our lives revolve around data. Our identities, our secrets, our stories. They all exist in the form of data floating around in the vast cyberspace. But how often do we pause to consider the security of this data? Our bank details, social security numbers, personal photos, they're all out there, stored on servers, transferred over networks, susceptible to the unseen threat that lurks in the shadows of the digital world. This threat is not a mythical creature or a villain from a science fiction novel. No, it's quite real, and it's known as a data breach. A data breach is like a digital heist, where criminals infiltrate a network to steal sensitive data. These aren't petty thieves, but skilled hackers capable of breaching even the most fortified systems. They're after the most valuable commodity in the world today: information. Data breaches have been on the rise in recent years. Some remain unnoticed, while others make headlines, sending shockwaves across the globe. From financial institutions to social networking sites, no sector is immune. The stakes have never been higher as the world becomes increasingly interconnected and our reliance on digital platforms grows. Yet, most of us remain oblivious to the magnitude and the implications of these breaches. We continue to share our personal information, naively believing it's safe. But is it? Every time we make an online purchase, every time we sign up for a service, every time we send a message, we're potentially opening ourselves up to this unseen threat. The threat is not just about losing money or having your identity stolen. It's about the loss of privacy, the violation of trust, the potential for manipulation. It's about the power that comes with knowledge and the damage that can be done when that knowledge falls into the wrong hands. So I ask again, have you ever thought about how safe your data really is? Because the reality is, in this digital age, data security is not just a concept, it's a necessity. Imagine the chaos if your personal data fell into the wrong hands. The year was 2005. The victim, shoe retailer DSW. A seemingly innocuous entity, unsuspecting in the grand scheme of digital warfare. Yet, it was here that one of the earliest major data breaches took place. In the blink of an eye, DSW found itself in the whirlwind of a cybersecurity nightmare. An astounding 1.4 million credit card numbers were exposed to the cold, ruthless world of cybercrime. But that wasn't all. 96,000 employee records were also laid bare, their details scattered across the dark web like confetti. The shockwave this incident sent was palpable, reverberating through every corner of the tech industry and beyond. It was a stark wake-up call, a chilling reminder of the fragility of our digital fortresses. The impact was immense, shaking the foundations of our trust in digital security. But little did we know, this was just the beginning. Scene script. Fast forward to 2013, the world was about to witness a data breach of unprecedented scale. In the vast expanse of the digital universe, a colossal titan named Yahoo was about to be humbled. A data breach of such magnitude was about to occur that it would send shockwaves around the globe, forever altering our perception of online security. Picture this: Yahoo, an internet behemoth, a pillar of the digital world, boasting nearly 3 billion user accounts. Each account a treasure trove of personal data. Names, email addresses, telephone numbers, dates of birth, hashed passwords, and in some cases encrypted or unencrypted security questions and answers. Then came the unimaginable. The Titan was breached, all 3 billion accounts compromised. This wasn't just a breach, it was a cataclysm. A staggering amount of personal data, enough to dwarf the population of the entire planet, was now in the hands of unknown entities. The shock was palpable, reverberating through every corner of the world. It wasn't just about the sheer numbers, it was about the realization that even the mightiest could fall, that no wall was too high, no defense too robust, no fortress unassailable. The news hit hard and fast, like a tidal wave crashing upon the shore. The world watched, aghast as the narrative unfolded. The breach wasn't just a technical failure, it was a wake-up call. A glaring reminder that in the digital age, privacy and security are not just commodities, they are necessities. The sense of invulnerability that large corporations once had was shattered. It was a stark reminder that in the world of data, no one is untouchable. The Yahoo data breach of 2013 was a seismic event, a digital earthquake that shook the world to its very core. It changed the way we viewed data security, making us question our online habits and the trust we put into digital platforms. The scale was unimaginable, but the worst was yet to come. 2016, enter the stage, Friend Finder networks. A year that will forever be etched in the annals of cybersecurity history. Friend Finder networks, a titan in the world of online adult dating and entertainment, faced a massive data breach. A breach that would expose a staggering 412 million accounts to the cold, dark underbelly of the cyber criminal world. Now, let's get a sense of that number. 412 million. That's more than the entire population of the United States, the third most populous country in the world. Imagine for a moment, every single person in the United States, their most private personal information, their intimate secrets, laid bare for all to see. Unsettling, isn't it? That's the magnitude of the data breach we're talking about here. But it wasn't just the sheer scale of this breach that made it noteworthy. The data exposed wasn't just names and email addresses. Oh no. It was a treasure trove of sensitive information, dates of birth, postal codes, IP addresses, and even sexual preferences. But wait, there's more. In some cases, even passwords were leaked, stored in plain text or hashed using the weak SHA-1 algorithm, making them a piece of cake for any seasoned hacker to crack. The aftershocks of this breach rippled across the globe. Millions of people found themselves victims of identity theft and fraud. Friend Finder Networks was hit with a class action lawsuit, and its reputation was left in tatters. The breach highlighted the vulnerability of personal data stored online and the severe consequences when that data falls into the wrong hands. This wasn't just a breach. It was an invasion of personal lives on an unprecedented scale. It was a stark reminder of the dangers lurking in the shadows of our interconnected world. It was a wake-up call. But were we listening? Data breaches have become more common, more sophisticated, and more damaging. This isn't just a statement to scare you. It's the reality of our digital age. In the wake of these breaches, the fallout has been immense. There's the immediate impact, of course. Millions of people find their personal information exposed to the world, their privacy shattered. It's like waking up one day to find your house has been ransacked, and the thieves didn't just take your valuables, they took pieces of your identity. But the aftermath of a data breach goes far beyond that initial shock. It's a ripple effect that touches every corner of society. Businesses lose their credibility, often resulting in plummeting stocks, lost customers, and massive fines. Governments too face scrutiny and backlash as citizens question their ability to safeguard sensitive information. And then there's the psychological impact. The fear, the mistrust, the feeling of violation. These are intangible effects that are hard to quantify, but they're real and they're lasting. Even years after a breach, people may still feel its effects, constantly looking over their digital shoulder, wondering who has their information and what they're doing with it. Yet it's not all doom and gloom. These breaches, as devastating as they are, have forced us to take a long, hard look at our data security measures. They've sparked innovation, led to stricter regulations, and prompted a global conversation about privacy in the digital era. Companies are now investing heavily in cybersecurity, employing advanced technologies, and enlisting the help of ethical hackers to uncover vulnerabilities. Governments are stepping up their game too, enacting legislation to protect consumers and hold corporations accountable. And as individuals, we're becoming more aware, more vigilant. We're learning to protect our data, to question where it's going and who has access to it. So where does all this leave us? Well, in a world that's more aware, more prepared, and hopefully more secure. It's a tough lesson to learn, but perhaps it's a necessary one. Because in this digital age, data isn't just information, it's a part of who we are, and that's something worth protecting. Your data is precious. Protect it. As we traverse the vast digital landscape, it's crucial to safeguard our personal information from potential threats. One of the simplest yet most effective steps is to use strong, unique passwords. Avoid predictable patterns or easily guessable words. Consider using a password manager to store these robust keys to your digital life securely. Next, consider enabling two-factor authentication wherever possible. This adds an additional layer of protection, making it harder for unauthorized users to gain access, even if they manage to crack your password. But protection doesn't stop at passwords and authentication. it's also about being cautious of the digital terrain. Be wary of suspicious emails and links. Phishing scams can often seem legitimate, but can lead to disastrous breaches if not handled with care, so stay vigilant. Keep your software updated and your knowledge about potential threats sharp. Remember, in the digital world, your best defense is awareness.